degrees of shoulder abduction. So the reason why we want the towel roll is you're going to kind of put it here. We want the acromion and the humerus to all be kind of parallel and flat. So if not, they're going to be kind of in an anterior glided position. So kind of like this. Palm facing this way, and then the motions we're doing are here for external rotation, here for internal rotation. You guys may have heard like lateral and medial rotation. They're the same thing, so don't get confused. I know sometimes it's weird when you heard two different things. Okay, so let's start with medial rotation. So this one gets a little bit funky because you're going to see a lot of movement up here. We're not too worried about it at this point because we're looking at the whole shoulder complex, not the glenohumeral joint, so it's okay if there's some movement going on there. You're going to stabilize kind of at the distal humerus. So if I was here, I'd be kind of holding under the arm here and then taking him into internal rotation. It's going to be a firm end feel, okay? So from here, 0 degrees, you're going to measure, and then down to here. So normal range of motion for internal rotation is 70 degrees. Your landmarks, your axis is going to be at the olecranon. I know you guys haven't learned that yet, but that's just this pointy part of the elbow. Your stationary arm is going to be perpendicular to the floor, and then your moving arm is going to be midline of the ulna to the ulnar styloid process, which is kind of at this groove here in the wrist. Okay? So I'm going to squat down so you guys can see. So from here, I'm kind of stabilizing and then pulling to right about here. And then I'm going to measure that. So again, starting at 0 degrees, and then as he's moving down, you're going to move it this way. I'm going to get the end feel here. And then you can kind of hold it and then place here. So perpendicular and then to the ulnar styloid process here. So he's at 50 degrees, so a little bit limited, but it felt symmetrical to the other side. Okay? So again, from here, kind of cupping under and then pulling down. Okay? And then external rotation, gonna be the same thing. You can switch your hands. So then you're gonna cup under and then bring him into this end feel here. Okay? Normal range is 90 degrees for external rotation. So, again, I'm starting him at 0. Okay. Taking him down. And he gets to 95 degrees, okay? So you compare side to side, make sure they're symmetrical. Does anyone know the normal range of motion?
170, 180.
60, 170, 180.
Yeah, I think it's 175 to 180 or 170 to 180 on your sheet.
It's 165.
170 to 180. Okay, so it's another one that's a firm end feel. All the shoulders are going to be firm end feels from all the ligaments and capsules and all the joints in the shoulder. Okay, patient position, supine on the table. Their head can be on a pillow. I'm just going to move it this way. And then what you're going to do is,
Just do it the normal way, we'll figure it out.
okay, so you're going to stabilize here at their thorax, same thing. Again, you're going to bring them into 0. Palm is going to be face up, so they're going to be externally rotated. And then you're going to bring them into abduction here, okay? If you crank it too far, their whole body is going to start to rotate or side bend. So that's when you know you're kind of at the end. And it's okay for the scapula to move. That's why we're stabilizing a little bit lower down, okay? So you're going to get your end feel here, and then you're going to come back. So your landmarks, your stationary arm is going to be parallel to the sternum. So think of the sternum here, you're going to move it parallel, okay? Your axis of rotation is going to be the acromion, and then your moving arm is going to be parallel with the midline of the humerus, okay? Okay, so again, you want to make sure they start, you can bring them into 0. gonna take them back into that end range. You already felt it, so you should know where it kind of ends. And then from here, you can line up. And just to point out, your acromion kind of disappears into their armpit. So you're gonna have to remember kind of where it was and then be like, okay, it's right here. So he gets to 176. And again, you compare side to side. Okay? Questions? Yeah.
Can you show it how you would actually do
Sure.
it?
So I would be here, stabilize, and then bring him up this way. And then from here, a trick that I showed some of you guys, if you put your thumb on this end, you can kind of maneuver with one hand. So then from here you can hold his arm and then feel there. Okay? All right, shoulder. But if you have the hole, you can use that. But you guys don't, so don't. Okay, so your landmarks are going to be the same as for shoulder flexion. Okay, so it's going to be the axis is going to be at the greater tubercle. Your stationary arm is going to be mid-axillary line of the thorax, and then your moving arm is going to be midline of the humerus. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I would do it on this side first, and then I'll show you on this one. So their arm is going to be, again, 0 degrees ab and adduction, neutral rotation, palm facing towards their body. Okay, and then the elbow is allowed to bend in this one because we don't want the slack of the tension of the biceps to limit us. So what you're going to do, you're going to stabilize at the thorax, and you're going to bring their shoulder into extension. Okay, so you see how this is very weird, right? So if I'm doing it on this side, I'm kind of pulling in this direction. Okay, so it's a firm end feel, again, from the tension of the ligaments and capsules in the front of the shoulder. Okay, here. Okay, and then you're going to palpate your landmarks. And I forgot to mention the first one, they're always starting in 0 degrees. So you're taking them to 0, and then from there you're moving into your motion, okay? So here. And don't do it like this in your practical. Okay, so he's at about 49 degrees. Okay. Let me show you on this side again. So it's you're kind of crossing your arms, stabilizing, and then pulling up. And then you can hold their arm here when you get your goniometer to measure. He's at 50 degrees. So you're going to compare, you're always comparing side to side. We're looking for the normal range, but if they're outside of that range, you're going to compare to their other side to see if it's normal for them or if it's something more of a limitation. You're going to stabilize at their thorax. Your hand's going to kind of come here. And we're looking at just the gross movement of the shoulder. So not specific to the glenohumeral joint, just how the shoulder moves itself. Okay, you're going to have the arm in 0 degrees ab adduction and neutral rotation, and then their palms going to be facing towards the body. Okay, so from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take them into the end range. So kind of where so some compensations you might see is they might start extending at their back or rotating. So that's what we're looking for. So you're kind of holding here, taking through the end range and feeling. Okay. So you're going to take note of that, bring them back down, and then now your landmarks are going to be, your axis of rotation is going to be at the greater tubercle, your stationary arm is going to be midline, mid-axillary line, and your moving arm is going to be parallel with the humerus using the lateral epicondyle as your reference point. Okay, so make sure you palpate all of those areas. So you already took them through, got the end feel, it's firm end feel here, and then you're going to take them through again. And you're going to have to line up your goni. So, awkward because I'm over here, but you guys get the point. And he's at 170 degrees here. So normal is going to be 165 to 180. Okay? Got it? You want me to show you on this side? So from here, appreciating the end feel, and then you can take them back, palpate your landmarks. And then you can line up. Okay.
What are the landmarks again that you're palpating?
So greater tubercle of the humerus is going to be your axis. Midline, mid-axillary line on the thorax is going to be your stationary arm. And then midline of the humerus to the lateral epicondyle, it's going to be for your moving arm. Got it? Questions?